Hey Canucks fans, the preseason is done, and now it's time for some tough roster decisions. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCBC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, September the 27th. Took my friend Maria to the Canucks game last night. It was her first ever game, and as you might have seen my vlog from last night, my quick post-game recap, very quick, though 2 minutes or less. And she actually did very well for her first game. Not because she's a female, like I wouldn't say just because you're a female you don't know anything about hockey. But she didn't know anything about hockey, didn't know any of the players, any of the rules or whatever it may be. And I was impressed. She picked up on offside, on icing and penalties and face-offs. Really, those are kind of the four things I talked about right at the start, aside from you got to get the puck in the other team's net. And she picked up on those, so she understood then why there's so many stoppages or why there's so many face-offs. Then we got to delayed penalty, pulling the goalie, TV timeouts, all those things. So she did great. We had a lot of fun. We had a nice dinner before. She's a good friend of mine from church and from ministry and from the Catholic school system. So all in all, it was great. But a couple funny stories. This is going to sound like I'm bragging. And don't worry, I'll get to the game in a second. It's going to sound like I'm bragging, but it was kind of funny. I was talking about my YouTube and my Twitter with stuff here and my videos and such. And then, she goes, well, what's your screen name or what's your account name? I said, I go by, people know me as Canuck Clay. So as we were walking down the stairs, she says, Canuck Clay? That's your name? And then the guy in front of us turned around and says, and shook my hand and goes, oh, Clay, nice to meet you. I follow some of your stuff. So that was kind of cool, to hear that. And then she goes, now I'm going to see how many times that people recognize you. This is going to totally sound like I'm bragging, but I admit I kind of like these things. Yesterday was my most ever. There were about 8 or 9 different people that stopped me or met me during the intermission or recognized me. And I don't do these videos. I don't do the Twitter thing just so people recognize me. But I admit it's a nice byproduct, or it's a nice benefit. And ultimately, it's not about getting more followers and more views on these videos. It's simply me expressing my voice as a fan. And if that speaks to people, if that resonates to people, and if people can either agree, disagree, or form their own opinions, then that's awesome. That's what we want, right? We want passionate, knowledgeable, creative Canucks fans. So I love it. I love it when I get to meet people either for the first time, take pictures, take selfies, or simply just meet people and ask them what they do for a living, what makes them tick kind of thing, and what more importantly, what they think of the team. I love those kind of experiences. So anytime I'm at a game, I will tweet out that I'm going to be at that game because I simply love meeting fans and anyone watching these videos. So thank you to everyone that I was able to meet last night. I'm not going to mention everyone by name because I know I'll forget and I can't remember them all right now anyways, but it was awesome meeting all of you. One funny story though, to wrap this part up, we went to go see Finn before the game started, and I told Maria, get a picture of Finn. So Maria took a picture of Finn. Finn, chomped on her head like he usually does, and then he signed a card for her, like his hockey card, and he gives it, and then instead of giving it to Maria, he gave it to me, and it says, to Clay. So it's kind of cool that the guy inside Finn, or Finn, recognized me. Thank you, Finn. Props to you. I'm not sure if you have a Finn or how I fist bump a Finn. I guess it's a Finn bump. And then I said, Finn, can you write a card for Maria? And then he writes a card to Maria, and it says, to Clay's friend. It's kind of funny. He didn't even say to Maria, and then Maria gave me a hard time about it. Overall, great experience taking Maria to her first game. Now let's talk about this game. Not a 6-2 loss. That was last night. That was 2 nights ago. 4-2 loss. Vancouver Canucks to the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona continuing their mastery, their dominance over the team, over the Canucks. Arizona won all of the games last season, but this was preseason. Arizona was missing a lot of good guys. They didn't play Kessel, they didn't play Ekman Larson, they didn't play Stepan. So they were missing a lot of guys. Canucks iced basically 75% lineup. No Horvat, Miller, Pearson, and no Tanev, Stetcher, or Ben on the back end. So that's 6 guys of the 20 skaters that didn't dress. So yeah, that's about 25%. But the Canucks had enough decent players in the lineup, and the one thing they needed, or they had, the guys that needed to make an impression. It's funny how at the very start of the preseason, we were talking about who's going to make the team, who's going to force themselves onto the roster from these bubble players on the bottom 2 lines. And I'll tell you guys, it's the end of the preseason. It's been 8 games past, and we are still asking the same questions. And we still we're nowhere closer to seeing who's going to make the team. In fact, I would say it's even murkier than it was, more muddled than it was 2 weeks ago. So we're not going to go through all the locks right now. We have a few days to do that because the Canucks don't play again until Wednesday, October the 2nd against Edmonton. But I want to tell you who stood out to me last night in a good way. So obviously Pettersson stood out to me as well, especially as I'm telling Maria, watch this guy. He's our star player, our superstar. He's the rookie of the year, and Pettersson still had his chances and it looked good. Michael Furlan looked good. I was happy to see him for the first time in person. He came as advertised. He went to the net, scored a greasy goal, was causing commotion after whistles. So I really like Michael Furlan's game. Adam Gaudette, who I'll talk about in a second, he had another good game. Not only that sweet backhand no-look pass to Zach McEwen at the start of the game, or in the first period, but the other thing I noticed is he's very confident carrying the puck now. When he's entering the zone, when he's trying to gain the blue line, trying to gain the zone, he's not afraid to make a move to dangle, to go around a guy or go through a guy. So you can tell he's playing with a lot of confidence on the offensive end. Defense, not bad last night, not great, nothing that stood out to me, but he will, that's going to kind of be the big debate, I think, which I'll get to in a second. And then, so those are some of the guys who stood out up front. I thought Quinn Hughes was good on the back end. Just every time he gets the puck on the half boards in his own end or behind the net, he doesn't panic. Like, I think 1 out of 12 times I saw him get checked off the puck as he was trying to exit his own zone. Otherwise, it's effortless. Either really good first pass into the neutral zone, or he just skates it out himself. So it's going to make such a difference to the Canucks team this year. And Tyler Myers was noticeable because he got smoked by 2 shots. He was blocking shots, especially on the penalty kill. Fearless, really, really good. But twice he had to go to the bench after trying to survive the shift with stingers or with a bump or a bruise or numbness or whatever it is. He was able to finish the game because he's a tough guy, but it was good to see him working hard and not being afraid to take shots and sacrifice his body. Of course, you hope that he doesn't get hurt in doing so, and he didn't get hurt too seriously. Okay, how about all the guys we didn't notice? Well, let's just talk about the forwards because that's really what we care about. We know that the D pairings are set. They're the top 6D. So guys that should have done something last night to solidify a spot on the team who didn't do anything were all of them, basically. 4 of them. Louis Eriksson, Tim Schaller, Jake Virtanen, Nikolai Goudobin. All 4 of those guys, so you could argue, are battling for those 11 and 12 spots, didn't do a thing. Virtanen maybe engaged a couple times on the boards, but not really. Louis Eriksson, we've heard he had a 0 stat line. Tim Schaller barely noticed 1 good block shot on a penalty kill, but that was really it. And then who did I say? Oh, the 4 guys. Oh, Nikolai Goudobin, yeah, completely invisible. Did not engage in puck battles, did not assert himself at all. Then you could argue that Greovac and McEwen had stronger games, but we know that they are not going to make the team either. So now it's funny. Instead of 6 guys, there are still 5 or 6 guys battling for 1 or 2 spots, but the spot is there up for grabs. So that goes back to Adam Gaudette. And what's really interesting is Adam Gaudette is now the biggest story of the preseason, and it's overshadowed Brock Besser's injury actually to this point. Because you can't really do much about Besser's injury. All we can do is sit and wait and anticipate his return. But for Adam Gaudette, the same arguments that I've been making over the past week or so. Really good offensively, good hands, good shot, nose to the net, a lot of confidence, all those good things. On the flip side, not even negatives, but he does have to work on his defensive game and his understanding of coverage and all that. And we've heard Travis Green talk about it. But even when you take away his play specifically, you still got to ask yourself what's best for his development and what's best for the team. It's not his fault that we have Brandon Sutter and Jay Beagle locking in contracts as the 3rd and 4th center. That's not Adam Gaudette's fault. And Adam Gaudette could have done everything he could possibly to make the team. Like I said, really good on offense, defense still working on it. But for his development, do you want him playing 10, 12, maybe as low as 8 to 12 minutes with the Canucks? Or do you want him playing 20, 22 minutes with the Utica Comets, basically never getting off the ice? And I think that's going to be the rub. That's going to be the biggest challenge. And no matter what the Canucks decide, people are going to be happy and other people are going to be upset. If you say that Adam Gaudette makes the opening night roster, people are going to say, okay, good. The Canucks said that if a young guy proved himself in the offseason or in the preseason that he'd make the team, good, they're sticking to their word, and wow, he can bump Sutter or Beagle from a position, or maybe he plays on the wing, but that's awesome that he's on the team. Then you're going to have a lot of people saying, oh, that's really bad because, he's not going to develop that well up here, especially only playing limited minutes, and he's good on offense, but maybe his defensive liabilities may hurt the team. So that's how you're going to upset or make happy some people if he stays. If you send him down, of course, there's going to be a lot of fans saying, what? The Canucks brass said that anyone who deserves a spot through a strong preseason to make the team, and now they're going back on their word. So you're going to have a lot of people mad at that, Gaudette going down, but then you're going to have people happy saying, this is best for his development, and he's not going to spend the whole season in Utica. He's going to come up, whether it's by Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving, or whether it's by Christmas or by the trade deadline. He's going to get time up here, and he's still so young. There's no need to rush him. So you can see there's the arguments right there, basically in a nutshell, why we should keep him or why we should send him down to Utica. And of course, the big factor, as much as some people have downplayed, the big factor is he does not have to clear waivers, so no other team can claim him. He can go up and down without worry that way. So that may be a big factor. So overall, it's funny that we've been talking about this for the last week and a half, but it's true. It's because Adam Gaudette has forced this discussion with his good play, and it'll be fascinating to see what happens. So Canucks fans, would love your comments on both the game itself, if you watched it, who stood out to you and who didn't, and do you agree with me my assessment about the lack of urgency among the forwards, and what do you think is going to happen with Adam Gaudette? Lastly, I want to give a shout out to the Vancouver Canucks, their communications team, and guys like Ben Kuzma and Thomas Drance and Ryan Beach and many others who are involved in the Botchford Project. I hinted at it yesterday. There are a lot of news about it yesterday as well, so I won't go too much into it. But in essence, a chance for 10 aspiring writers in local writers for in Vancouver, a chance for them to be mentored by local sports writers and reporters, and a chance to attend a game and write a paid article for the Vancouver Canucks, a recap of the game or a feature, whatever it may be. So the application is open to writers of all types, priority to journalism students. So I know I have not colleagues, but I know people already, a lot of people that have applied. You have the whole month of October to apply, all the way to October 31st. So I know the Canucks brass or the Canucks communication team are going to have a hard time whittling that down just to 10 worthy individuals. But really, really cool, really great initiative, a very respectful and very fitting way to pay tribute to the late and great Jason Botchford. And we know all the stories. We've been reading all the glowing, commentary and reflections, because he was always looking for new talent. He was always encouraging people to express their creativity and to develop their talent, whether you're a writer, a reporter, a blogger, a vlogger, whatever it may be. And I've shared my own stories, and many people have been sharing their own stories of the lasting legacy and impact of Jason Botchford. So kudos once again to everyone involved as part of the Botchford Project. A couple people have asked, no, I will not be applying. I think I'm too old. And regardless, I'm not much of a writer. I know they're going to focus on writing. I'm a decent writer, but there are a lot of people out there who are younger and much better writers than me. I will continue to make these one-take wonders from my car, and I think that will be my contribution to Canucks fandom and the Canucks stratosphere, so to speak. Okay, there's a lot there that's going on, 13 minutes, so I better stop. Got to get to work. But I love your thoughts on the Botchford Project. I love your thoughts on Adam Gaudette. I love your thoughts on other players and their lack of urgency in last night's game. Leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Enjoy the day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.